a Learn by Lived Experience event. This is a series of events being organised by Lisa Robinson, our EDI coordinator. Just give a wave, Lisa, in case nobody knows you, which I think everybody does. But thank you for doing that, Lisa. And the Learn by Lived Experience events are based on the most powerful experiences that come from hearing stories from other people who have lived through that experience. So this month it's Black History Month, and really delighted that Johnny Nyaaba has agreed to come and talk to us today about his experience of moving from Ghana to becoming a staff nurse at the Cumberland Infirmary on Willow A. So I'm going to hand straight over to Johnny to talk to you. He's going to talk for about 20-25 minutes, and then there'll be an opportunity for questions too.
Hello, good morning. Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here with all of you. My name is Johnny Nyaaba. I come from Ghana, that's West Africa. I am a staff nurse now on Willow A, Cumberland Infirmary. In this session, which is a lived experience where we hope to share and learn at the same time, I'm going to tell you about my journey from Ghana, my home country, to be working in Cumberland Infirmary here in Carlisle. So I have worked for over 12 years as a nurse in Ghana, with a lot of experience, of course, but it got to a time that I thought I needed a change, not only for myself, but for my family as well. And so I decided to see if I can get opportunity to work for the NHS. And when I started it, after reading a lot, I realized it's kind of a really, really long journey from start to finish. But I said, no, I wouldn't give it up because I really want the change, and I want the opportunities that are gonna come along with that particular change. So I started to get myself ready, and to get ready means I had to first read and learn, refresh my memory, certain things I've learned in the past as a nurse, and knowing that there's a bit of a difference between how the NHS works and how the Ghana Health Service works in terms of structures and hierarchies and practice itself. So I needed to write an English text and to be able to pass that as one of the tightest requirements, because it's quite a difficult one, passing that particular English test. I know people who write up to 5-6 times and they still fail. So you want to give it your best. People have gone to hire teachers for extra classes there just to be able to pass that English test. But from my particular experience, I thought I was really confident that if I put in a lot of efforts, I'll be able to make it without going for extra classes. So I started to learn on my own. And yes, I passed that exam. And that wasn't all. After passing the English text, I have to pass another test online on nursing practice, which I had to also read a lot, because most of the case scenarios might sound familiar, but the way you approach them is actually different from how I used to do them in my home country, Ghana. So that took another lengthy time preparing day and night, so you wouldn't fail it, because the English test is quite expensive, over about £250. And imagine you fail and you have to pay another one. You don't want that. And after that, I have to pay for the next test also, and I didn't want to fail it all either. So I had to really task myself and learn and read a lot and pay for that one also. Then I sat for the exams. Interestingly, I had to travel like 12 hours to the center where I could write a particular exam, because where I was living, I didn't have an exam center. So even the stress involved with traveling and all of that, and all this while I've got family, and I've got a very little girl, 7-8 months at the time. And well, I want to be supportive to my family, but my family wants to also be supportive towards my goal. So it's a bit of understanding here and there because I need time to focus on my studies, and they could sort out things on themselves until I can be back with them. So it's been quite challenging, but yes, I passed that second test also. And then I have to register with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of the United Kingdom. And there's a lot of paperwork and cross-check of facts from my previous school, from my workplace. And it takes a lot of time. It's a to and fro kind of thing. So I send in information, they check it out and say, okay, can you supply at this one? Can we get a reference from your school, from this? I had to do all of that. And before I could do it, I have to pay another money to the National Midwifery Council of Ghana to be able to start the processing that I'm actually going to do. And then I have to also pay for registering with the NMC of the UK. So if you're not really up for it, mentally, physically, financially, of course, you're going to get stuck. Yes. So after going through all of this and having passed the first two examinations and going through the NMC, now they gave me the go ahead that I can write what is called the OSCE. It's a third of the examinations. And before you can write the OSCE or OSCE, you have to travel over to the UK because you cannot write it in Ghana. Now, before I can come to the UK, I have to now begin to look for job opportunities through NHS jobs and track jobs, which I started to do. And I had a lot of opportunities, hospitals, which had vacancies that suited my particular role. I applied to a lot of them and I had many offers, but I have also been reading if I want to come to England, if I want to come to the UK, where do I want to live? How would I love to raise my family? So that is also another task, because if you don't do it well, you might end up in a city where certain things might go against you. You don't want that, especially starting out as a fresh international recruit in the UK. So after reading and watching videos online, YouTube, I think I love the county Cumbria, and I've seen people speak about how peaceful the place is and how it's really a nice place to raise family. And I keep saying this is a really huge point for me because I really want the best for my family, for my children especially. And I don't want a really busy place where things can easily go southward. No, I didn't want that. So I kind of agree that yes, Cumbria will be a really nice place for us. And then if we are living in Carlisle, it will be the perfect opportunity for both personal and professional growth. So when I had many offers, a lot of them were in England actually. I went through the interviews and I had about 5-6 job interviews. I passed them. And I had one with NCIC here also. And I just had to go with NCIC. So when I passed the interview, they now said, fine, you've passed the interview. We're happy to have you. But now we have to begin the pre-employment checks. And that is another long litany of processes that I had to do, a lot of paperwork. They send that information and I have to sign and I have to work on them and resend back several times. And they had to really be comfortable with what I have and to also cross-check referencing whether the things I'm saying about me, they are true or not, whether the qualifications I say I have, they are true or not. So that takes a lot of time also. Then when it got to the point that they've satisfied all of that and they were really happy with me, now we have to start with the visa processes. And good thing is that the trust actually pays for your visa, even though there's another way to recoup it after you start working. But it's quite of a relief because I've been spending a lot on both exams and registering with the NMC. And then if I had to add this extra cost, it's really going to be a lot on me. So that was a really good thing for the trust to be paying for that. Then later on, yes, you can pay it back. And then before you come here from Ghana, you have to do a tuberculosis test also, which is quite expensive for the visa. So I had to do all of this together. And then when I submitted finally, and I went for my visa interview and I had it, it's now time for me to prepare and pack and come. And the city where I even had a visa is really far from where I live also. So each and every time I had to go and make an official documentation like the tuberculosis test, like the visa appointments, I had to travel like 12 hours by bus, and it's not an easy journey. So every single one has been a really stressful situation. So when I had a visa, I was like, fine, okay, now everything is settled. Let's see how it's gonna go. I'm going to a country where I know things are going to be new in terms of culture, work balance, in terms of food, in terms of the weather. So how do I get myself fully prepared so I can weather the storm? Luckily for me, well, I like to read a lot, so I've taken my time to see the things that I would need. So if I get here, I could survive. So I was able to bring along some local food stuff and products, some jumpy jackets that I think could really help me to stay warm. Then when I got to the country in January, I was sent to Crew, and I had to spend 6 weeks to get ready for that OSCE exam that I said you could only take in the UK. And at the time, there were only 3 centers that you could have the OSCE. So I had to prepare for 6 good weeks through another grueling practice because it's really difficult conforming yourself to the UK norm. Like I said, I know how to put in cannulas. I know how to do a lot of things in Ghana. I know what's expected of me, but the way of getting it done is not the way people get it done here. So I know I'm supposed to get this done, but how I'm supposed to do it is not how it's done in Ghana. That means that even though I feel I know a lot, same time I feel I know nothing. I've had to unlearn my old practices and learn new ones to be able to adapt and adjust. So in Crew, it was really difficult because every procedure was kind of new because of the way you do it. Finally, I was sent to Northern Ireland in Ulster, where I had the examination and I passed. Then I came back to Crew, and the next 2 days I came to Carlisle for the first time. So I did not even have enough rest from the exam preparation in Crew, going all over to Ulster to write the exam, coming back, and then the next 2 days, here I am coming to Carlisle. It was really, really stressful. But when we got here, I think we had a few days to just recuperate, and it was really helpful. Then on the 1st of March, I visited the Cumberland Infirmary for the first time because that's where I was going to work. And to be able to really, really adapt and work well, we needed to be trained and had this induction program. And that was awfully and painfully challenging also, because every single day you're working on something, and sending feedback was really difficult. A lot of them, we don't do a lot of IT in where I come from, but it sounds as though here everything IT has to be involved. And it was challenging, as I said earlier, but what I mean it already, and I cannot go back, I cannot change certain things. And I'm having this mindset, these are challenges, but I'm seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. I'm not having that fixed mindset towards these things, but rather a growth mindset. Therefore, if I face these things, no matter what happens, I'm gonna win over and I'm gonna be victorious. So these things gave me the hope and they gave me the stoicism to move ahead. So we started doing a lot of work online and starting to go to the hospital. And when I started on the ward on Willow A, it was extremely difficult. Why? Because the environment was extremely new to me. The structure, the modus operandi, everything on the ward was just different to me. Every single item I had to use is something that was new to me. No matter how simple they looked, I still have to ask, how do you get a blood with this device? And somebody has to tell you, because what I'm used to in my home country is not what they're using here in the world. That meant that I had to really learn and learn a lot. But the good news is we had a lot of support personally from the nurse managers and the work colleagues, because if that wasn't going to happen, then how am I going to be able to cope? No. But then if you don't ask questions too, it's not everybody who's going to be coming to Johnny. Is there something you want to learn? Is there something you want? No. So you have to be moving forward, be approaching people. Can you show me how to do that? Can you tell me how to do that? And gradually, as I begin to gain grounds, I would say I'm a really confident person, but I didn't have that initially on the ward because I felt like I knew nothing. But with time, I started getting better. And I've told people, even for now, some of us get opportunity to be put in as in charges, sometimes on the shifts. And that's a lot of responsibilities on you. Though I feel like I'm still learning, but I'm still able to shoulder some of these extra responsibilities, I would say pretty well, given that I've been only a few months with a trust. Going forward, we had to get what we call signing off. Even though I do a lot of things in my home country, I cannot do them here without some proper paperwork and documentation from every single thing. And that means every practice that I have to do, somebody has to watch me 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and say, okay, I think you're good to be able to do this independently, and sign you off. And that has to be taken to ESR for them to know, yes, you're now qualified to be able to perform this procedure, no matter how small or big it is. And that has been another huge step to be taken, and I have not completely finished all of that yet, even though the most important bit, to be able to fully execute care to your patients, I have all of it. Now, this is just about the professional bit of it. When I got into car life first, my first impression, I felt lonely. I did. And when I had read already before coming that the black population here was minuscule, I'm like, wow, okay, we will see. Because I mean, it's quite challenging if you don't feel like you've seen a lot of people that you can easily go to. Yeah. So when I got in first and I realized, yeah, I was seeing just white people. I was feeling yeah, and I've left family behind and all of that. I was beginning to feel like sad. Okay, how am I gonna cope? But then I later found out that there are some good number of other people, black people, that some of them I might say my language and who knows they might understand. I might say a particular greeting and they might be familiar with it. And then I found out that the city is really full of beautiful people. And then I begin to say, wow, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't matter if the people accept you. I mean, it's not about race, it's not about color and all of that. It's not about working together, it's not about making progress. And these people have really demonstrated to me that yes, what my notion is being is right, that I can actually blend well with anybody at all. And so I began to have this positive feeling. And then I've shared these stories. The place is quite cold. It's really, really cold. And our pastoral support assistant, Beth, she gives us tips on how to weather the storm, how to get yourself going out, stuff like that. And they have been helpful. Now, when I came in first, I was at the University of Cumbria. I had an accommodation there for just a month. And then I had to move out to my own place. And that was another huge step I had to take, because I had to search for accommodations, and that was really difficult because you keep applying and lenders call you and say, Johnny, we are sorry, but yeah, somebody else took the place, and yeah, you have to keep trying. But finally, I had a place, and before I could move in, well, I just come to the UK. Financially, I'm not that independent. I'm so struggling. But how do I set up a place that I can call home, where I can live, I can cook, I can really feel comfortable? That's going to take some pecuniary advances also. So I spoke with Beth, and Beth said, Johnny, there are some charities around. Sometimes they can really help you with certain bits. And I said, why not? So I tried them, and lo and behold, they came out to really help with certain stuff indication that can really help me live more comfortably. Lalo Live a Light Out, that is the name. And I shared this experience with my other international recruits, and a lot of them also benefited. Yeah, and they were really happy with that. That was a really huge turning point, because it was instrumental. If I haven't had that, then how am I going to be able to cook and eat and go to work? Because I couldn't have afforded all those things just at the first instance. No. So that was really positive. So my knowledge and my idea of the people even got better and more loving. Then when I started out, I had this grass in front and behind my building that I thought it needed to be cut down. But you know, the cultural differences. It's very common in Africa, in Ghana, to cut your grass with a machete or with a knife. That is what we do. Lawnmowers are not something, I mean, probably people haven't even seen machines like that before, right? So I got out one day. It was actually my birthday, and I thought, well, I'm just stuck in the house, so let me just do that work. And I grabbed this knife, and I was cutting the grass. I knew people were going to see it and be like, what's he doing? But well, I thought it was something that I had to do. Then when I started doing it, just 2 blocks away, a neighbor, a lady, she came over to me and said, hi. When I came in first of all, I've spoken to a few of them that I'm going to be new, and they're really lovely people. So she came over to me and said, we've got a lawnmower you could use that will make the work much easier for you. And I said, why not? I could try. So I went over and I collected it, and I was able to do the cutting of the grass really more efficiently and faster. And that is one of the singular things that really touched my heart, because I felt it was pure love. I mean, to come out of your place to say you could give me this for me to do my job. I was really happy about it. It really touched me. One singular thing more than probably any of the other things. So when I finished the work, I sent it back, and she said, anytime you want to cut the grass, feel free to come over and then grab it. And I was like, wow, okay, I will. I definitely will. Right. So that has been some of the things that have consolidated my understanding of working together, of embracing and blending with people, regardless of color and race. And for me, I respect everybody. And so when I receive that from people, then I'm like, yeah, we can coexist in a mutually friendly and beneficial environment. That racism, be it structural or individual or any form, it's not needed. And people have proved that to me in this country. So when I've gone to the world, every single day I go, I put out my best. I want to help people. That's why I'm here. And every single day I receive compliments from my patients. And if you ask me, the strongest motivating factors for me is those times that nobody know about, those times between only me and my patient, what happens and what they tell me. My managers might not know anything about that, no, but these other things that really hold me really strong. It's not what people see, but what happens just between my patients and I. And I feel really great about it, because every day they tell me really positive things. So when my family came over, and before they came, actually, I had gone to get admission for my daughter. She's 3 years old, Kimberly. Then when I went to the school to grab the admission forms at Caldioli Primary School, the administrator was really friendly to me the first time, really smiling. And I'm like, she's really like smiling, like over the top smiling. And I came home and I called my wife. I said, when I went to get admission form, the administrator was really nice and friendly. Yeah, she was really happy. I thought because my daughter was going to be the only black person in the school, and people would like that blend, people would like to have the diversity. Maybe that's what she was happy about. Then when I went to submit the form after completion, she said, Johnny, actually, I know you. And I'm thinking, wow, I've been in Carlisle just a few months. And I'm thinking, how would you know me? Because I don't know you. Then she said, my dad was on your ward. And the dad used to actually call me Jimmy instead of Johnny all the time. And they had to correct him. Dad, it's not Jimmy, it's Johnny. And I go in there, she said, Jimmy. No, it's not Jimmy, it's Johnny. So it was a kind of fun moment between my dad and the family. So when they reminded me and said their father told them how of an immense help I was to them, and that's how she got to know me. And I really felt not only loved, I think I felt powerful. I did. I felt like I was really doing something right. And if I don't give up and I keep doing that, no matter what I face as adversaries or adversities, whatever, I think I can really be good. And the most important thing is me giving my best to the people of Carlisle and Cumbria and the United Kingdom. That's all. Not like my people do not deserve that. I've done a lot and a lot for my people back in my country. I just wanted a change. So as we speak and celebrating Black History Month, on Saturday, for instance, I have an NGO, Johnny and Friends Care Ghana. We are hoping to collect about 100 pints of blood for 2 hospitals. This is just one of the few things we are doing. We are working on breast cancer self-awareness since it's also Pink October, and we're already having programs. And for the past 10 years, I've been working a lot on these things and helping people in my community in that. So I just want people to have an appreciation of the fact that, somebody might just say, why don't you want to just stay in your country? No, I have stayed there and I have done a lot of good work and I still keep doing it. But I've said I can help even my country, a proxy from wherever that I am, which is still happening now. Right. So being in Carlisle, I've been able to bring my family on board also. They're here with me now. So when I said the challenges, I saw them as opportunities. I weathered the storm. And now the things that could have made me really feel like I should go back, I have it here. I have my family here. My daughter has started school, Kimberly. And when she started just 3 weeks into school, she actually received the Head Teachers Award for coming to school so responsibly and settling really well. And I'm thinking it's a really positive thing, and everything is working for good. So that is how I've seen this whole movement. There are times I've been a little bit down, feeling lonely, but then I've not come to associate with a lot of people. I've seen people from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Kenya, people from Carlisle, everywhere, and we've all got to be friends. We have a really strong work relationships, and that is really building every day. And these are the things that I look at, and when I'm talking about my lived experience, though there might be downs, but there are more ups. And for now, all the downs are no longer. I only see opportunities for growth and development, both professionally and personally. So that's how far I've actually come. Though it's not been easy, but I think it's been worth it. And to add, as I said, it's Black History Month. Thanks to NCIC for giving me the opportunity. Now, I go to the ward and I see my picture just flourishing on all the computers, and people are asking me, the doctors and nurses, Johnny, could you sign an autograph for me? I said, oh yeah, I could sign one for you. Yeah, and I think it's a good thing that is going to help motivate other people to also want to give up their best, because at the end of the day, it's for progress. And I know whatever thing I do here, it has rippling effects to the entire NHS, and to other places also. The knowledge that I have now, I have opportunity to share with my friends who are also in Ghana, in different parts of the world. So in the end, it's not for the UK, it's not for the NHS, it's actually for the world. So coming back to Black History Month and celebrating this month, not demanding, but asking that all races, especially Black people, are respected just as Black people respect every other race. We really need that to be able to move forward. I want to be honest. I've met white people who have not been outrightly kind to me the first time, and I'm thinking, why was that? For me, I love everybody and I respect every single person. But I've met a few who, yeah, from the first time, but then when they get a chance to spend the time with me, we get to be friends. Why is that? It's because the first instance, they probably had a stereotype mind that he is Black. He might be like somebody I know who's Black and maybe did something bad. Just an excuse. And that is not right. You cannot pigeonhole the whole Black people for something that somebody did somewhere. No, treat me as me, and I treat you as you. So if I'm good, treat me as a good person. If I'm bad, treat me as one. So celebrating this month, we are encouraging everybody, all races, to embrace each other, one another, and be friends, and be like brothers and sisters that we can really help each other. And that's what I'm trying to. That's why I don't see race in the care that I give to people. I don't see that. I don't see color. I don't see anything like that. And that is what makes me more getting more adjusting and more comfortable with it, because I think that, I mean, we are all good people, right? So I'm using this opportunity, if you're a Black person out there too, to continue that excellence, Black excellence, in whatever corner, whatever place you find yourself in this month and any other month. I've joined the UK's blood donor because I read online the UK needs more Black blood donors. So on the 8th of this month, I actually donated my first blood. It's something that I do in Africa more commonly, but I've done it here because somebody might need my type of blood to save his or her life. And I've gone there, and when I went, I saw a lot of people, but I was the only Black one in there. And I'm like, well, I think others will follow up. So if you're a Black person out there, do something every day, today, this month, other months, do something. And I think together, we are going to forge forward, and it's going to be a winning situation for everybody. There shouldn't be anything like race. One person in particular that I'll mention is former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. If you've heard about him, in blessed memory, he passed on a few years ago. This man embodied the United Generals mission like nobody else. If you read about his biography and stuff, this man has fought with regards to HIV and AIDS epidemic. And HIV and AIDS is a global thing. It's not a local thing. So if you don't treat it well at a point, I could have traveled from Ghana, come here, and because of my perception and what I have, that HIV problem could be here from me. So fighting it at a corner is fighting it for the whole world. This man has fought really for HIV and AIDS. He's fought to resolve a lot of conflicts in a lot of countries in the world. He's done a lot of things to reduce poverty and all of that. And all this make the world a better place. And he is a Black man. He was a Black man, and he could do that. So Black people are capable of really great and mighty things. I am capable of it. And everybody else, so are white people. So the point is, let's see each other as one. We can all do it together, and we can all be winners. I'm not sure, probably I've left something out. If you have questions, I'll be really happy to answer them. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. It's been a privilege. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much. On behalf of, we will send you all the comments in the chat box, but there's a whole host of comments from everybody on the call just saying thank you so much. What an inspirational discussion that's been, and really we're privileged for you to share that information with us, from the hoops that you've jumped through to get here, and right through to your thoughts on Black History Month. We're so grateful that you're with us. So I am going to open up for questions or comments for the last, we've got 20 minutes. So if anyone has a question or a comment they would like to make, please put your hand up, or I will read out some of the chat box. So I think we've got a hand up from Steve Park, who's our Director of Communications.
Thanks, Gareth. And Johnny, I just wanted to say, I know there's comments on the chat which you should have a look at, because I just wanted to say what everybody else is saying. It's just been an absolute privilege and inspiration to listen to you, and to see and hear about your personal commitment and the drive that you've had to actually get here and the journey you've been on. It's a privilege for us to actually have you in the organisation. So thank you very much for sharing. Thank you very much for all the work you do in the trust and outside the trust, because as a former head of communication for the National Blood Organisation, people like you are much appreciated as blood donors. So it's really appreciated, all the work that you're doing outside the trust as well. So just thank you on behalf of everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. I do have another question, and just before I move on to that, we have recruited 200 international recruits. So Johnny is one of 200 people who are joining our organisation over this. I think we've got about 90 at the moment, and I think there'll be about 200 by March. So we've got everything that Johnny has described, 200 people going through that very same process. And I know that our teams in HR and nursing leaders have been doing everything to try and make it easier as time goes on. So we've got a question from Julie Thompson.
Hi, Johnny. Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic to hear. So I work with Beth and Kathleen and others on this project, and I don't get very much opportunity to sort of speak to and hear from the nurses firsthand, so it's been really a great privilege really to hear from you. I guess my question was just because you're a really positive person, and that sort of comes out in spades really listening to you, but if there was one thing that we could have done differently for you that would have made your experience even more positive, I'd just be interested to know what that might be.
Thank you very much. I think everything is on course, but there's always room for improvement. Yeah, we can never be there where we need nothing else. So I think when we come into Carlisle for us as international recruits, or wherever we get to, whether West or Cumberland Infirmary, there's a way to help us to settle more easily in terms of getting accommodation. That will be really instrumental, because I know some of my colleagues just had places where they really wanted to move in, and before then they were in student accommodations in places where they didn't see as permanent places, but because they did not get places that they could really say, okay, this is where I really want to have as my home, they've been living there. And before getting my own place, I had to walk like 20-25 minutes to work every day. And when I'm on a late shift and I close, and I'm leaving the hospital around 7-8, and it's dark and I have to walk 20-25 minutes to work, sometimes I felt a little bit sad about it. So if there's any way, I'm not sure to talk to landlords or anything, that in case they know it's one of us trying to get accommodation, not trying to be discriminative, but we should be given the edge. I mean, if you understand what I'm trying to say, so we could settle in more easily and more faster, because if it doesn't happen in time, there are times you're on the ward and you like, manager, can I go to see this viewing, and it doesn't go through. Then the next time you're asking again, can I see this other viewing, and doesn't go through. And each and every time you go out, of course, you're living that precious time where you would have garnered to support your patients to go. So if the trust of people in the community can help us in this particular regard, settling in more easily, that would really be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say accommodation is our number one most difficult challenge at the moment. So just so you're aware, we have set up a group specifically now to try and look at how we can improve that situation. So yeah, take that on board. It is a real challenge for us. I know how important it is. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So if anybody else has a question, just pop your hand up. I'm just going to look through some of the chat, Johnny. So there was a discussion earlier. You talked quite a lot about all the kind of bureaucracy, really, all the difficulties that you had in trying to get here and all the different exams that you had to sit and some of the financial burdens of that. Again, is there anything that we can do to make that a little bit easier? I know some of it isn't, but perhaps there's something in the trust that we can do that would mean that people would choose us rather than another organisation.
Yes, thank you. So financial wise, it can be quite challenging. If you work in Africa, things are a little bit different. You might be somehow comfortable in Africa, but if you want to begin to pay money in pound sterling, it's quite different because you convert a whole lot of your country's money, and it's really very little in British pounds. So I don't know what the trust can do, but if they can take off more of some of this financial burden off, no matter how small it is, I think it won't be a bad idea. Like I said, the trust had to we had to rebate the visa processing funds back to the staff, to the trust when we came in, and we were just settling in. So if the little we're going to get, we still have to take some back to the trust. Then we kind of backpedaling, just getting back a little bit, when in fact we want to really move ahead steadily. So I can't specify any form in specific, but anything financial that the trust can do to support us, that would really be nice. I know they've been helping us to, if you've got family and you want to bring them and you're financially burdened, I think they can give you a loan and all of that. That has helped a lot of people to really be able to bring their families over, which is quite positive. And I do commend the trust for that. But like I said, there's always more rooms for improvement. So there could be other tricks they could do. Thank you.
Okay, and how are you? How is the family settling in now? Because I know your family haven't been over for that long.
Yes, they're settling in fine. They brought a lot of Ghanaian food and dishes, so that is helping. But a few days ago, my wife asked, so if all this local stuff finished, Johnny, where are we gonna get them? And I'm like, yeah, it is possible we might get some. I understand London might be a little bit more. I might get a little more stuff locally. I mean, Ghana thing from London. So if you hear somebody's coming over, you could message the person to get you something. Or if somebody's coming over to the UK, yes. And then here in Carlisle, there are a few shops I've gone to, which have been really helpful. They can get some of the Ghana Nigerian stuff, not all of it. I guess we might miss something little all the time, but we could have replacements also. My wife has grown to love potatoes, which are really kind of here. We're not eating them in Ghana, so we are filling the gaps a little bit with some of the things we are getting here. So we are managing. It's the children are doing really well. No signs of struggle, but my wife is the only one still struggling with the cold. Every day is colder than the previous day for her, and that's the only problem. Yeah, that's the only problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and we do have one more question that's just come in from Dr. Azim.
Thank you very much. Is my voice clear?
Yes, yeah.
Great, thank you very much. It's nice to attend this meeting, which is full of information, though I joined a little bit late, but however, I understand that he shared his experience. For the newcomers, what we face the problems, one is he already addressed about the residents. The second thing is about relocation budget. Because this is not clear how much for whom, and sometimes they say it is this amount, and then we argument with them that this was given in contract, and now then they increase it. Then they say this is for 1 year. Further, if you stay 2 years, then it will be this one. So can we make something quite clear how much relocation for one person, and what are included in it, because it is a bit complicated that your ticket is included. No, your ticket is not included. Your residence is included. And sometimes they say if you have temporary residence, that is paid. So we are really confused which can be included, which is not, and why it is not given in a one go, why it is transferred to the second year, whether the visa is included or not, whether renewal of BRP is included or not. All these are really complicated things. When they send us some links, we go through the link and we just lost there. We don't know where to go, what is there. So if you kindly have some knowledge about it and you would like to share, I would be very grateful. And if kindly make it more clear for the new persons who are coming here, then it would be easier and comfortable. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to raise this issue. I'm really glad. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Azim. I'm not sure whether Johnny will be able to help with that, but what I would suggest, what I'm hearing from you is that it's not clear who can information about relocation and where you go and the support that you have around that. So it's certainly something we can feed back into the team and look at, because I know that Johnny's group has been through the international nurses, but we also have a lot of international medics too. So we can make sure we look at that and ensure it's a bit clearer. Julie, did you have anything to add on that? I know you put your hand up.
I mean, I can pick that up separately. It was just, I guess, a couple of things. So one is we do have slightly different arrangements for our international nurses than we do for our other international recruits. There's a slightly different arrangement there just because of the way that we've done it. But in terms of the rest of our workforce, we can certainly have a look at, and we've done work to try and improve the clarity, but we can certainly have another look at how we're sending the information, because I know if you're getting sent a link and it's not getting you to where you need to be, it can be really frustrating and confusing. So I'm more than happy to have a look at that with the team and see how we can simplify that.
Lovely, thank you, Julie. So we are recording this session, so if you've enjoyed the session and you want to share it with your colleagues, please do so. We'll be putting it on the web page after this. Oh, there's a couple more hands just gone up. Sally.
Yeah. Hi Johnny, I'm Sally Pilcher, Associate Director of Nursing for the Community. And obviously with international recruits, most of our international recruits have gone into both of our inpatient acute settings in West or in Carlisle. What do we need to do to support you and your colleagues coming from overseas to come out and work in the community setting?
Thank you. So I think there's a bit of a difference in a work environment wherever we've been working and the NHS. So I think the first and most important thing is a bit of orientating us to what the expectations are and what we really have to get, because we get in an environment where almost everything, the way it's done, is different for us, and it makes it a little bit difficult getting there because you are on a learning process. So we need people who would be able to go to the community, but they should have in mind what the expectations are, because it's already been a little bit difficult in the ward. We've had meetings with Dr. Varma and other people where we've shared these concerns, where we think if we have mentors, then it wouldn't matter where you place us, because they're really going to be there with us every step of the way. So whether community, whether inpatient, outpatient, they will be there to say, okay, this is the outpatient and this is what we expect of you, and let us take you through this as more of orientation. Sometimes when we do get orientation, but it's not quite thorough. So the thing is that the onus lies on you basically to want to know everything. So to be able to blend well, whether in the community setting or the inpatient, we need that kind of support system where somebody is really taking us through the steps and through the do's and wants. If we do that, it wouldn't really matter and we can really function well regardless of the care setting. Thank you. Brilliant.
Johnny, it would be really good if you would come and spend a day with us in the community and think about what sort of transition support you would need, or other international recruits would need. So that would be maybe something we could do with you if you want to come and see what happens as a community nurse out in outside of the hospital.
I would love to. Yeah, like I said, the opportunities that are there for growth. So yes, I would love to. Yeah.
Well, maybe pick that up with your matron and see what we can work through.
No poaching, Sally. So I'm just going to end by asking Lisa just to talk a little bit about the next session, Lisa, which is on, I think, the 3rd of November. Is that okay?
It is, yeah. So hi everyone, I'm Lisa Robinson. I'm the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator for the Trust. First of all, Johnny, thank you so much for sharing your story. I think from the we are going to send you the comments from the chat box. The feedback that you've had is great. So I hope you found the session really good as well. So our next Learning from Lived Experience session is on the 3rd of November, 12 till 1 p.m. again. We'll take the same format as this, and it's Dr. Raj Demaraju will be talking about Diwali and how our Hindu community celebrate Diwali and the impact that COVID has had on them celebrations. So yeah, please join again. Really great that we've had 30 plus people joining today, which is fantastic. As Kath has said, the sessions will be available on our staff network pages, and really want to continue these sessions moving forward. If anybody would be interested in putting themselves forward to do a Learning from Lived Experience session, please drop me an email. Please come forward. I think the feedback that we've received from staff is that it's such a powerful learning experience for our staff, and I really want to continue with them. So your support would be really appreciated. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you very much to Johnny, and hopefully we'll see you in a month for the Diwali Learn by Lived Experience. Please do look back at the one that Sally did last time on long COVID, and also the Learn by Lived Experience events with Zoe Fulliger and Rachel Ridley. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.